I did a thing. Here we go. We're on live. Can you tell why my theatrical musical theater career did not take off very well? Hang on, thanks for showing up, friends. I'm gonna share this onto my page because I did a practice run. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Monisha. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Thanks, David. David called me cute. Who has something nice to say like David did? Hi, Ari. Hi, Camilla. Hi, Tina. Oh, Monisha, you're amazing. Okay, let me see if I can share this. This is why I did a practice run the other day. How is everyone? All right. Have you guys been thinking about your questions? Hi, Tina. Oh, look. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Michelle called me stunning. That might be in the lead. All right. Share to a page. Hang on. So I don't usually do Facebook Live. I prefer static video, which I know is, let me do this, and then that's my alarm reminding me that this is happening. So let me get comfortable. I don't usually do Facebook Live because I don't love getting distracted by all of the comments. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Monisha. Hey, Amy Parker. And thank you. I love the necklace too. I appreciate that a lot. You guys are awesome. I would get distracted. And so when I would get distracted by people engaging, then I would get off topic and then I would feel stupid and not like how I sounded. So I started doing a lot of static video because of that fear. And I don't know if anybody out there can relate to that. Maybe you love going live. But inside of this, hi Sheila, inside of this challenge that my friend Angela actually put to me, I thought, okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens. And everything that I posted on my wall was legit true. Like I really was contemplating how I could avoid doing this today. So you guys are here. This is about you. Does anybody have anything they want? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate all of these nice things that you guys are saying. Does anybody have any questions for me? Is there anything that you want to know? Where I'm born? Which bra strap is that? There we go. Let me tell you something funny. I totally spilled, I was brushing my teeth and I dribbled toothpaste down the front of my shirt about 20 minutes before this live. Anybody else feel that way? Do you guys do that? I'm messy. I'm looking at my phone because Angela said she sent me a message. Are you messy like that? Is anyone else like that? I oftentimes have to change clothes while I'm eating. That's a true story. Drinking this coffee right now is a risk because I could dribble it down the front of my shirt. All right. Cool. So let me pull up a couple of questions. Somebody messaged me on Instagram. This, I think, was amazing. And I'm not going to say anybody's name. If you put in the comments anything, then I'll answer here. But all the other questions I will just answer without saying, oh, Susie Q sent this in. Okay, so Monisha first, where are my fur babies? They're locked out. So wrong way. That's the door. The door is shut because they're really loud. And but today's their birthday. So I do have cookie treats for them and stuffed toys we will be celebrating later. But for the purposes of this, I did shut the door because once they get going, then they don't stop. And I don't know if anybody out there, well, I do know some of you have a couple of kids. It's like one encourages the other, and then it's you would hear me like have to yell, and I want to keep a good reputation. It's nice to know that a lot of you are messy, like me. Your cat ate your cactus this morning. David, that doesn't sound like that's good. Is that safe? Okay, so somebody messaged me. I thought this was funny. This is actually a real question that somebody sent in. Why are you so amazing? I thought that was sweet. It's not the person I'm married to, but this woman sent this in. I think that I think we're all amazing. I think we have forgotten that, and I think that a lot of us are looking in the wrong direction. I was on the phone with a couple of clients earlier today who are comparing themselves to people who are further along, to people who are further along on the path than they are. So if like right here, right now, I'm on my path and I'm looking ahead at people who are further along than me, then I'm gonna feel less than. I'm gonna feel insignificant. And in that space of feeling less than and feeling insignificant, I'm not gonna be motivated to do anything. But if I turn around and I look behind me, not from like people are less than me perspective, but the people that are just not in the same place that I am in my journey, then I'm gonna feel really good about what I can do and what I can offer and how I could serve them. So a lot of times, I think in terms of our self-esteem, we're looking in the wrong direction. And a follow-up to that, somebody just messaged me, was there a time that I didn't feel so amazing? Yes, there was more time in my life that I did not feel amazing than time that I did. Probably 41 years of my life, I felt less than. If you really knew me, you would know that I am a recovering perfectionist, and so I spent most of my life, most of my time in comparison to a completely unrealistic standard. Can anyone out there relate to that? And it's the perspective thing, right? Where am I looking? And inside that space of trying to meet this standard of perfection and feel like I had to do more and be more and achieve more in order to feel enough. It was like I thought that my perfection and my achievement would make me feel better so that I would stop beating myself up, but then because the standard was completely unrealistic that I was trying to achieve, like I was always in the state of beating myself, so I was like beating myself up so that I wouldn't beat myself up. I mean, it was absolutely insane. I was miserable and stressed out, and my body hurt. I was super angry all the time, and yeah. So instead of looking at all of the things that I wasn't, I just started honestly getting really into personal development. I started working with a coach. I started surrounding myself with people who thought in a different mindset. I started in a direct sales business that really introduced me actually to the world of more positive thinking. And I started to shift, and through all of that, really began healing my relationship with my own self. It definitely was a journey though for me. So yeah, I hear you, Ethan. The comparison thing is real, and it's all, I learned this actually from my coach, but comparison in and of itself is actually a very neutral activity. So much of it is about what we're comparing ourselves to. And a lot of people say, don't look back, you're not going that way, which I do get, but I think that it is important sometimes for us to compare ourselves to where we used to be so that we can celebrate the journey. Because I know for myself, I mean, if I'm looking at like a scale of 1 to 10, even if when I first started, I was at a 3 and now I'm at an 8, the old me, man, I used to look at the 2 spaces I still had to go. Like, even though I had traveled like the 5 spaces, I was like, yeah, but that's not enough. And I actually posted about this earlier today on Facebook, that your butt is keeping you from being excited to keep going for your goals, because we get in this space of, just constantly feeling like we're not enough. Like, yeah, I did that, but, and every time we do that, we're ripping our accomplishments right out of our hands. And if we keep doing that, we're not going to feel good at all about continuing. So somebody sent me another question. How would you recommend 2 people reignite a passionate relationship after a honeymoon period is over? Can anyone resonate with that? Is anyone interested in knowing the answer to that? You don't have to type me. Maybe you could put some hearts or something like that. That's real. Yeah, like, how do you reignite passionate relationship after the honeymoon period is over? I think it depends. I think it depends for sure. Something that I realized a few, maybe like six months ago, was that we stopped really being friends. So I've been married since 2002. We've been together since January of 2000. And I think when you get into life and you get into routines, it becomes super easy to talk about the kids or the dogs or chores or, you know, what, like the mandatory almost, like catch up, let me fill you in on the bills and the responsibility. And what worked for me and for us was really finding that space and being really intentional with dating. Like, really intentional with saying, like, okay, like, we're gonna go out on a date, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have fun. So like, something for me, you may not know this about me, but I love video games, but like, not like, I love going to like Dave and Buster's video games. I'm super competitive about random things. So like, when it comes to playing like video games at an arcade, I get like really aggressive. And this may not surprise people that know me, but the Jurassic Park, like where you go in and you pull the curtain in and then you like shoot up all the dinosaurs, I love that game. And so we started making an intention to go out and actually date and play and have fun. You know, having those moments where you turn your cell phone off, where you don't just zone out in front of the TV and eat dinner, and where you actually date. And I know there are a lot of books. Somebody had, one of our friends had this at the coaches retreat that we were just at. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to scroll through here. I think my friend Danita had recommended a book that just asked a lot of questions, you know, and there's a lot of books that are out there that are, you know, just that are not just what's your favorite color, but, you know, fun, silly questions of, you know, I don't know, if you had to choose to never eat one food again, would it be donuts or you know, chocolate chip cookies? Random things like that thank you, yes, for texting me. Intellectual foreplay. So getting things like that and making that very intentional and committed time to connect and eliminate the distractions, really, really important. So those are things that work for me. I would say try something small and don't wait for your partner. I think it's really easy for us to demand other people come to us. So maybe it is about you initiating, like, not necessarily like, okay, we're having sex tonight, which, I mean, that's fine if you're into that, but initiating like play and fun and like making out together and being silly and having those connections. And that's something that I think is really, really important. So if that doesn't answer your question or you want more, please message. So let me go through here. Okay. Michelle, good to know I'm not alone in the live button. Where are my fur babies? I answered that and locked them out. What's my favorite topic to talk about? This work. I love personal development. I love personal growth. I love the way the mind works. I get so excited when I'm around people that are curious and just geek out about why we do the things that we do and how we sabotage ourselves and how we can learn to shift and transform our lives and our way of being. Like this work so much lights me up. Inside of that conversation, identities. I get really geeked out about that. So those are my favorite things to speak about in terms of topic. I'm also glad that people know that you guys are a mess too. That's helpful. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of self-criticism, Lotus. I definitely resonate with that. Oh, Michelle, that's beautiful. We live in that way. We don't see our amazingness. I read a quote the other day. Somebody posted online that butterflies, they can't see their own wings. They don't know how beautiful they are. And we humans are like that as well. Oh, Angela, that's real. Sometimes when I compare myself to where I used to be, I feel even worse. You know, I had one of my clients earlier this morning did that. She had a bunch of ribbons that were on her wall, reminding her of achievements that she had in the past. So I think inside of that, there is not necessarily a one size fits all, right? So when I think about, like, when I reflect backwards in those moments, I'm specifically speaking about the growth that I've made and how far I've come. But, you know, and I'll say this, just kind of a blanket statement. What works for one person isn't necessarily going to work for someone else. So there's not a one size fits all answer to anything. I mean, even with like the relationship conversation, that's what worked for me inside of my relationship. Is that going to work for you? I don't know, but try and see. And so many of us are trying to have the right answer and get the right solution and know exactly, you know, what is going to work before we even take step one. And I get it, especially if we've been hurt a lot, right? Especially if we've dated a lot of people and those relationships haven't worked out, then we get a little bit more hesitant to want to put ourselves out there. But the reality is we got to get feedback. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then don't. I mean, the best planner to use is the one you're going to use, right? So I appreciate you bringing that point up, Angela. Michelle, what's your favorite way to celebrate yourself? Ooh, girl. I love good food. I love good food. So getting a really good meal cooked for me, that's a way to celebrate myself. Sometimes it's taking myself out for like a coffee. I took myself on a date to the bookstore the other day. That felt really good. Most often I dance around my house and I sing like I'm Janis Joplin. I mean, I really, like, I feel like I could be her with like dance moves like J-Lo in my head, right? That's what's going on up here. That's what I feel like is happening. So those are things that I do to celebrate myself. I don't know that I have necessarily a favorite way, but those are some of my favorites. Lotus, thank you for sharing that. How to handle when you're in a positive space and the people you try to connect with are not. There are no's and scarcity mindset. I get so annoyed. Then, of course, trust their journey, let it go, and keep on. Yeah. So that's a really good question. Does anybody else relate to that? You're like, I'm good, and All y'all are the problem, which is not what you said. Those are my words. The no's and the scarcity mindset. Are you speaking, Lotus, in terms of your business? Because inside of direct sales, that's going to happen, right? And a concept that is not mine, but that I learned that I love is if you think about two circles, right? So you have like a small circle, then you have like a bigger circle around it. So if you drew that, you, Lotus, being at the center, the stronger that you are in who you are, the stronger that you are in your core, in your truth, the more that you are rooted inside of your authenticity, right? Then, my friend, the easier it is going to be for you to remain solid and strong no matter what other people are doing. Because people are people. And the truth is that, especially in like a direct sales business, people are going to lie. People are going to tell you no. People are going to change their mind. That's just people being people. And if we put ourselves in the position of allowing ourselves to be blown like a leaf in the wind with everything that other people do, we're going to have a pretty unstable and tumultuous life. So my invitation to you would be to keep doing work through the spiritual work that I believe that you do, through coaching, to really strengthen the core of who you are, so that you are less moved, right? Maybe like if this is you, maybe you sway a little, but it just doesn't knock you out in the same way. And I didn't get from what you said that it completely takes you down, but anytime that we're putting our happiness in the hands of anybody else or anything else, right? I feel good when it's sunny, but not when it's rainy. Then we're like a victim to the weather, right? Or I feel good when people tell me yes, but not when people tell me no. Then we're a victim to other people. And that's just, and I lived most of my life that way. And so I'm speaking from personal experience when I say that's a very unstable way to be, and it's exhausting. It's really, really exhausting. So that would be my invitation there. The intellectual foreplay, Courtenay, valid for all relationships. Yes, ma'am, for sure. Oh, yay. How did I go from coaching my ass off for free to charging for it? That's a good question. I practiced asking. So when I very first got started in coaching, I offered 4 free sessions, and then I practiced offering them like a coaching package at the end. Most people said no, to be honest with you, but a few people said yes. And the reason that I did that was because I wanted to get skilled in my asking, right? And then I also had to do a lot of work around my own like money beliefs. I had a lot of really disempowering negative beliefs around money, and so it was really important for me to clear that up as well. But it just was a practice for me. So I did 4 free sessions, and then I offered them a coaching package, and that was a couple years ago. Yeah, oh, I'm glad you typed that out, Michelle. Butterflies cannot see their own wings and thus don't know how beautiful they are. Yeah, we humans are like that too. What has surprised you the most about your current journey? Oh, Kim, I'm so glad you're here. Where I am right now, this is so shocking to me. The fact that I love what I do so much. Yeah, the fact that I love what I do so much. I remember being at a live event in 2016 and following following the facilitator around, this is a true story, and literally tugging like a child, like a toddler would tug on an adult's shirt, and literally tugging on his shirt and saying, how can I figure out my purpose? And the fact that I feel with every ounce of my being, every cell in my body, that I am living that life, that's probably been, like, I don't even know if surprising is the right word, but like that's been the most surprising for me, just in reflecting back. I think most of us don't realize what could be coming for us if we would just keep going. And the other part of that feels really real to me right now is the fact that I was able to heal my relationship with my mom and really see her as a beautiful and sacred teacher in my life, and have so much gratitude for all of the pain that I experienced, because I recognize that it's what has created who I am. Oh, Zach, yay. I'm so glad. Oh yeah, Carrie Underwood. I pretend I'm her too. That's nice, Michelle. Apple bottom jeans. Okay, let me not. You're practically perfect in every way. Everyone else sucks. That's hilarious. You are so funny. Let me see. Oh, I love you, sister. Courtenay, that's beautiful. Yeah, Lotus, it's the more we can strengthen ourselves and the less susceptible we are for them. And yeah, oh my gosh, I feel like I want it more for them than themselves. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. The hardest thing for me, I was literally on the phone with a connection call earlier this morning where I told her, I said, that is the hardest thing about what I do, to be standing where I am now and just knowing, like, if you would just say yes, everything could, like, if you could know, if I could fast forward you to where you would be, if you would say yes to whatever it is, to the opportunity, to coaching, to an event, to whatever, if you would just say yes and then do the work, if I could take you, like, boop, pick you up and teleport you to where you would be 6 months from now, you would run your ass so fast to get there. But the problem is you don't have a guarantee, so you don't know, so you don't say yes. And that brings me to tears, Lotus, on a regular basis. But I like to believe it's because I give a damn. Kelly, what questions are we supposed to be asking? Anything you want, honestly. Yeah, ask me anything. Yeah. Question. Haha, perfect. How do I know if I'm thinking too much or just thinking responsibly? Oh, dang. I bet people are going to relate to this. I get it a lot that I'm a negative person when it comes to making a decision. I like to think of all the things that can happen after making that decision. My wife is more outgoing and I'm more of the think before jump, and sometimes it gets us to fight a little. Can anyone relate to that? So my question to you, Kelly, is when you say that you're thinking about all the things that could happen, are you also thinking about all the good things that could happen, or just, I gotta plug my computer in, or just the negative things that could happen? Because a lot of the times we say, like, oh no, I'm thinking about all the things that could happen, but we're only thinking about the things that could go wrong. Are you also asking, like, what if this works, or what if it goes right? Hold 1 second, please. And I'm going to share with you an analogy. Every relationship has a kite and a string. And in different conversations inside of different relationships, sometimes you might be the string and other times you might be the kite. And in your relationship, Kelly, specifically, in the example that you gave, you said, it sounds to me like she is more like of the kite, right? She just wants to fly and have fun. And you're the one that keeps things a little bit more rooted, right? So that she doesn't fly away. And that's beautiful. Like, it really is beautiful. So I would encourage you to maybe look at the ways that she helps you fly a little higher and celebrate her for that, and look at the ways that you help her stay a little bit more grounded, and know that if you were the same way that she was, you guys would both take off and that would probably not be okay. And if you were both the string, neither one of you would go anywhere, and that would be a little bit less fun. And then I would also encourage you, and this is just speaking generally without talking to you as the individual and knowing the specific situation, but I would say maybe give yourself like a deadline or a amount of time that you're going to allow yourself to process through the possibilities, right? Where you say, okay, we're looking at buying this home, all right? I'm gonna give myself, 3 days to do the research, to weigh the pros and the cons, and then I'm gonna make a decision. So if we're obsessing so much and we're doing so much research that we're just staying in limbo and not actually making a choice, then, like I said, generally speaking, without knowing more specifics, then I would say that's less good. I hear stories about my father-in-law that he used to obsess a lot about technology because he wanted to buy the best thing, right? So he wanted to get like the best cell phone or the best oven or whatever. But he would do so much research that he wouldn't actually buy anything for a long time. And by the time he made the decision, like the thing he was gonna buy is out of date now anyway. So in a case like that, we might be obsessing a little bit too much. So yeah, let me know if you have, there's 38 new comments, I gotta scroll down, but let me know if you have more specifics around that. I hope that is important. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Hi, Jennifer. Mostly negative. Okay, we're thinking about buying a house right now. That's funny, I didn't see that. And that's a bigger purchase, okay? So I mean, maybe give yourself a little bit more time inside of that. But if you're asking what could go wrong, like your brain operates like Google, right? So if you program into Google, what could go wrong? I mean, that's like asking WebMD, what's up if you start sneezing? I mean, you would put yourself in the hospital. So if you send your brain on a what could go wrong hunt, the only thing that you're gonna come back with is stuff that could go wrong, right? So that's not necessarily bad in terms of the house, right? Let's look at like, is it a safe neighborhood? And what are the kinds of people that are around, and what are the taxes? And let's look at like commute times, and all of those things are important to consider. But then also allow yourself the opportunity to say, what if this goes right? Like, what if this is the best decision? And what if we end up really loving this house? And ultimately, even if you make a mistake, this goes back to the circle analogy. I was talking with Lotus's question earlier. Most of what we are afraid of is not messing up or making a wrong choice. It's about beating ourselves up after we make the wrong choice. So if I was speaking with you individually, I would find out more specifically what it is that you are afraid of, and see if we couldn't heal that, if that makes sense, right? So inside of buying the house, what's the concern? Ariel, do I ever feel completely crazy? Yes, daily. Yeah, absolutely. I think all entrepreneurs have to have a little bit of that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like it. Yes, yeah, I feel crazy. I got different identities running through my brain, and I'm trying to build a business, and for sure, for sure. And I've just learned that for me, it's it's part of my magnificent humanity. So instead of judging it or trying to change it or wish that it was different, I've really practiced just embracing it and having fun with it and loving my mess, right? Oh, Lotus, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, if you ask WebMD, it's going to tell you you're dying when you have a cold. That's for sure. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to hang out a little bit longer. I have a coaching call with a super dope client here in 24 minutes. But next week on Thursday at 3 p.m., I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget. Thursday at 3 p.m., I'm going to do this again. I want to do this consistently because that's how we get good at things, is by doing them consistently. And so many of us are trying to be super awesome before we ever start, and it doesn't work that way. And so I am going to show up consistently, and I want to engage with you guys. I'm going to look on Facebook and see if anybody else has a question. Is there anything else you guys want to know at all? Oh, yay. Kelly, I'm so glad. Do you feel complete? Let me know. Coffee is life, David. I love it. And I drink it black, which I used to not do. I used to think people were crazy who did that. But now I love it. If y'all feel complete, I don't need to hang out here for forever. But not that I don't love you guys, because I really do. And I feel super loved and celebrated. And I appreciate you showing up and engaging. And I don't know if you saw this, but a couple people inside of this conversation in the comments said thank you, that they really appreciated and needed this today. And people said yes and dropped hearts and likes when I asked if things resonated. And that, my friend, is because of you. That is not because of me. I think a lot of us are, myself included, which is why I said us, I think a lot of us are super terrified of being honest with the things that we're afraid of and the things that we're struggling with, because we think that we're the only one. We think that we're the only one that's wondering if they're the cause of the problem in their relationship, or we think that we're the only one who, has lost whatever spark inside of their marriage and doesn't know how to get it back, or we think that we're the only one that feels like they're crazy, or any of the things that you guys asked in here today. And the truth is, when we show up in our vulnerability and in our authenticity, and we ask what's real from our heart, other people benefit. So I want to say thank you to you for showing up and for asking the questions that you asked so that you could serve each other. Support and tribe and a place where we feel loved and seen and accepted is really important. I don't know a lot about sociology, but I really believe that as humans, we're not supposed to do this journey on our own. Like we're not wired for that. We're not supposed to be alone. We're supposed to be plugged in and connected, and we're supposed to have tribe. And that's what you guys came together and did today. And maybe you showed up to support me, and I appreciate that. but you ended up supporting each other. And that is really, really, really beautiful. So I just want to say thank you for that. Oh, Monisha, boo. See if you can get somebody to swap you. And thank you, Michelle. I love this work. And that's something else I really love talking about, is people like you and our love and our connection and what brings us together as humanity with a lot of stuff that's not going right in the world. It's nice. It's nice to be connected in this way and feel loved and supported. So I will stay on for 4 more minutes until my clock says 3:45 Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions at all, whether it's where do you get your jeans, or what kind of coffee do you drink, or how much sleep do you get, or how long have you been plant-based, or what are your dogs' names, ask. And if not, I will see you next week, Thursday. It's already in my calendar, like a brilliant boss babe, right? We got to schedule the stuff that's important to us. So next week, Thursday, February 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now you can either log off, or we could just stare at each other in awkward silence for the next 4 minutes. Do you guys have a preference? Hi, Ashley. Hey, Wes. Kayla. I'm so excited for you guys that are here. I haven't seen a lot of your faces in a while. Nicole, how are you? Ashley, how's Harper? Is she driving yet? Marianne, Maris, so exciting. Chantal. I like to pretend I can sing. Mr. Warwick, how are you? That's like one of my best friends from high school's brother. How cool is that? Isn't social media neat that we can be connected in this way? We're just gonna stare at each other now. Oh, you guys are amazing. Please message me if there's anything that you do want to ask or want follow-up on that didn't get addressed earlier in this conversation. I'm happy to answer it. God, finally living my life for myself instead of my family, my friends, and my significant others. Jeez Louise, that's so real. You gotta do you, boo. Here's the thing too, right? Most people want us to do that anyway, right? We're living out the life that we think they want us to be living. But if we ask them, they actually don't have any of those thoughts. I remember I spent so many years of my life thinking that I wasn't enough, right? And I figured that everybody else was thinking that, because how could they not be thinking it? Because it's what I was thinking. Necklace, where did you find your necklace? Oh, this, love Nordstrom Rack. Love them so much. Love their pajamas, love their t-shirts, love their jeans. That's where these jeans are from, and that's where this necklace is from, I think. I said that with a lot of confidence, and then now I'm thinking I'm wrong. This necklace is from Macy's. They have a lot of jewelry sales. Macy's jewelry. That's where this is from, but I get a lot of stuff from Nordstrom Rack. I just totally plugged Nordstrom Rack, and it wasn't even accurate. Don't blink contest. I'm horrible at those, right? Like, we just stare at each other. Hi, Sabrina. All right, it's 3:45. Okay, so if you have other questions that didn't get answered, you didn't want to ask on the live, you can message me. You can message me through Facebook. Obviously, we're friends, or you wouldn't be on this live. Or if you want my email, or if you have my phone number, you can text me. And next week, Thursday, the 28th, 3 p.m., we're going to do this shindig again. I'm going to go. I appreciate you so much. I pray this was valuable for you. I thank you for your engagement, for your celebration, and for your love. Oh, you have no idea how much you fill my heart. All right, my friends, be well. Mwah. We'll talk soon. Bye.